Everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. So, Hearthstone. It's a game that I've touched on a couple of times, and recently, just I think on the 14th, they announced their next expansion, which is going to be called Rise of Shadows. And Rise of Shadows is going to bring with it about 130, 140 odd cards or so. And it's also going to bring a year-long storyline, the Year of the Dragon. Just like the Elder Scrolls Online, then. Oh, sorry. I was talking to somebody over there. It's irrelevant stuff. So they're bringing with it a year-long storyline, with it being broken up into 3 different parts. Part 1 coming out in April, and then it's going to be free in May, and then the further 2 parts costing $20 each coming throughout the course of the year. On top of that, they're offering a deal with various options. One of them being like $10 and you get yourself an arena pass and 9 packs. And then the next one being $50 and getting 50 packs. Or $80 and getting 80 packs. And I think in one of them you get a legendary, guaranteed legendary, and the other one you get a golden legendary or some such, or I don't care. Now, Hearthstone is a fine game. And when I say fine, I don't mean like quality mahogany fine. I mean like oak. It's solid. It's there. It does its job. And personally, I can only play for... Well, I haven't played for nearly, I think, 18 months to 2 years now. And the reason why is, I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, I've essentially think I've been priced out of the game now. I don't think it's at all worth me attempting to get back in for a couple of reasons. First of all, because there are so many expansions and add-ons and etc. every year now, I feel so far behind the meta. I feel so far behind card collection. And another one is because I don't play the game, of course, I'm not generating any gold, and there is a level cap on how much gold that you can get a day. So if I was to try and purchase these with gold, it would cost me an incredible amount of time. Time that I don't want to put into the game. Time that I'd rather put elsewhere. And so when it came to the construction of this video, it's very easy for me to just say, goodness gracious me, look at these offers. They're terrible. 50 packs for $50, 80 packs for $80. That may seem like a bargain at first glance, of course, but then you have to take into consideration the fact that is pretty much the same as or more than a brand new full price game. And then you actually have to weigh that against exactly what it truly offers in terms of gameplay, and Hearthstone is very, very samey. So I think unless you're in the pit of Hearthstone itself, this is where my topic comes in. This is where my take on this comes in. Hearthstone isn't doing anything whatsoever to encourage players to return. Or you could also say it's not doing anything to encourage new players. So, one of the questions you should be asking right now is, well, do they need to? If these, $50 for 50 packs, $80 for 80 packs business, $10 for 9 packs and an arena pass, $20 for the expansions, maybe they are targeting their current audience, and they understand that the core of their current audience will purchase these for the prices that they're asking. And that would be a very legitimate question if you ask that. Well, the problem is we have to look at how Hearthstone is actually performing. And if you've been keeping an eye on the quarterly earnings reports that Activision Blizzard do, you'll be aware that for both games like Hearthstone and Overwatch, the sale of loot boxes, the sale of packs is down considerably. Why? Well, I think if we just focus on Hearthstone, because this is what the video is truly about, you have to realize that I think there are a vast majority of people are in my position when it comes to the attitude towards Hearthstone. They feel priced out. They feel as if it would be too difficult to get back in. They feel as if it wouldn't be worthwhile trying to catch up to the meta. The time sink involved in attempting to get anywhere would be too much. I think that is a very natural and normal feeling. Whereas hardcore players who would do these purchases, $50 for 50 packs, $80 for 80 packs, and such and so forth, they would have probably accumulated ridiculous amounts of gold through the time that they've currently sunk into the game. And so if you can purchase packs through gold, if you can purchase arena passes through gold, what's the point in you actually buying packs with real money? And therefore, you have a catch-22 situation where your current audience isn't buying packs because they have too much of the in-game currency which has been generated, and you're doing nothing to encourage new players to come into the game or old players to return to the game and entice them to get back in. And to me, the way that they are structuring their sales tactic is it's designed to, when I say fail, it's designed to ultimately lose more business in terms of sales will go down and down and they won't go up and up. And it's kind of reductive to do this. If you want Hearthstone, because Hearthstone is already in a slight bit of trouble, which is we're not yet being told the full story. We know that packs sales are down dramatically. We know that MAU is down a fair bit as well. We don't know exactly, but we know it's down a fair bit. And we also know that they produced a survey recently where it was questioned whether or not the Hearthstone players would be particularly bothered if they pulled esports. They've already pulled esports for Heroes of the Storm. Hearthstone, you could say, well, it's still relatively popular up on Twitch. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Totally agree. But if it's not generating the money that they want to through esports, then they're simply not going to produce it. So there seems to be a little bit of trouble bubbling under the radar when it comes to Hearthstone. And it's just a matter of whether or not it will come to the surface and whether, of course, they will start to cancel esport tournaments. But when we get the quarterly earnings reports, we will see exactly what the state of the game is with Hearthstone. So let me just pull this back slightly. What can they do? Well, if they're wanting to get more people involved, the more people that are involved with your product, the more opportunity you have to sell to a larger audience. That is just basic logic. Whereas if you are working off a core audience, a whale audience, which seems to be the attitude of AAA games right now, it's going to be counterproductive because you're always going to lose them. You're going to lose them. Everyone's going to get to a point like me where you just it's no point. And there's going to be a drop-off point. So even their whales, they're going to get to the point where it's just like, no. And it explodes. It implodes on itself. So it's just a matter of when that will come for Hearthstone. So when you have a new expansion, for example here with Rise of Shadows, when you have a storyline which you're going to run throughout the course of the year, how successful that will be in itself is to be determined. Are people going to be happy with a year-long storyline? What if they don't gravitate towards the first part? Is that going to have a knock-on effect to parts 2 and 3? You get the drift. But to me, when you have a new expansion, when you have a new way of producing content for it with a year-long storyline, this isn't like the Elder Scrolls. This isn't an MMORPG. There ain't a ton to do in this game. It's the same thing over and over again. You should really be putting something out there to encourage new players. And this is where you should have your return bundles and stuff like that. So for a player who hasn't logged in, for argument's sake, in over a year, has your account logged in over a year? No? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll give you 30 packs and a 2-game expansion pass for $30. What have you got to lose with that offer? Nothing, really. If you haven't logged in for over 6 months, 6 month returning pack, we will give you 1 expansion, and we will give you 25 packs. $17.50, $20. Something like that. And actually try to entice an audience to return to the game. And then you can still use your rhetoric to try and sell to your core audience and say, hey, for everyone, though, we're doing a special deal, 50 packs for 50 quid, which I think is fucking stupid anyway, because it's all digital stuff and it's meaningless. They have no technical value. So whether it's $1 a pack, is that good? Who knows? Is 10 cents a pack good? That's meaningless. So you could have dropped that down for people, 40 packs for $30. Just for people, for anyone who's currently playing the game. Don't make that deal available for the others. They've got their deals. But you want to do an array of deals for people, for existing players to make them feel special. Because remember, sales is always about MAFI. Make me feel important. That is the core fundamental of sales, which is just so lost nowadays. Because gaming companies talk to people like shit. They treat you like trash, like garbage. They betray the first, literally, commandment of sales. Make me feel important. Make the customer feel valued. Make them feel special. So do a special deal for people over a certain time. Special deal for people who haven't been away for too long but could necessarily be enticed back. And then do a deal for current users, because current users are very core, obviously, for the retention of your game as well. So just doing these arbitrary nonsense, 50 packs for $50, 80 packs for $80, whoop-de-do. It's not enticing any new players back. I look at that as a player who's left the game and gone, I'm happy, I'm out. I am happy I'm out of here, because this doesn't appeal to me in the slightest. Those prices just seem like mental, ludicrous. So I'm seeing a game which is actually telling me not to bother to return. You're priced out. Who cares? Who cares? If you're not on the horizon, we don't care. We're just gonna now appeal to our whale audience, which is gonna get harpooned by the Japanese. That got a little bit weird. So yeah, I don't get the mentality of these people. I don't get who's behind the marketing structure of this game. I don't get why they don't understand how important it is to have more people in your product, and therefore a larger base audience to try and appeal to. And I don't understand why they don't try and entice people who have gone back into the game. Nothing about Hearthstone appeals to anybody other than who is currently playing it. It's bizarre. But I'm sure, people have their thoughts and feelings. Feel free to stick them in the description box down below. And I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links, they're in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.